Hey there everyone, it's Steve from itmakessenseblog.com, and today we are going to go through a step-by-step guide of ClickFunnels and how you can use it to effortlessly create your first sales funnel. So let's get started. All right, before we begin, let's talk about why you need a sales funnel, and let's talk about the differences between a sales funnel and a website. So with a website, think of that as the home base for your business. People can go to a web browser, type in your URL, and find your website. And on your website, you can have like your customer support information, your contact information. You can have a little bit about the products or services you have, and anything else you want to tell people about your business. However, if you're trying to sell something specific, if you have a specific product or service you're trying to sell, a website's not the best place for that, because you might have heard this analogy, but it's like sending a salesperson to, let's say, a crowded airport and then handing over a brochure to someone and saying, here, let me know if you have any questions. And it just doesn't work well that way. You're not going to get a lot of customers that way. But a sales funnel is like sending out your best salesperson, and that salesperson taking a potential lead by the hand and guiding them through a sales process, and then turning that lead from a lead to a first-time customer, and then from a first-time customer into a long-time loyal customer. And that is what a sales funnel does. The sales funnel goal is to take someone that doesn't know you and take them step by step through a journey where they get to know you, they get to know what products or services you have to offer them that will help them on their journey, and how you can help them achieve whatever lifetime goals they have, and how in the long term they can become a really loyal fan of yours and buy any product or service that you have to offer them that will help benefit them. And ClickFunnels is a program that allows you to build this funnel, the sales funnel, without having to spend thousands of dollars on a computer programmer to build this for you. And in less than an hour, you can have a beautiful sales funnel up and running. Think of it like, again, your salesperson, your best salesperson, up and running for you. And it will be running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, making you money, taking your potential customer, through that journey while you're sleeping, while you're on vacation, or while you're spending time with your family. All right, now that you know why you need a sales funnel and what a sales funnel does, let's actually go into ClickFunnels, and I'll show you how you can get your first funnel up and running rather quickly and easily. So when you first log into ClickFunnels, this is your dashboard. Now, to create your first funnel, you go to Add New, and then you have two different options. One is the Cookbook Builder process, and the other one is the Classic Funnel Builder. Now, the Classic Funnel Builder is good for if you have more advanced skills with ClickFunnels and you want to start with a blank template. For a beginner, you want to start with the Cookbook Builder process, and in here, it has all kinds of different funnel templates that you can use. You can use a squeeze page funnel. You can do a two-step tripwire funnel. You can do a application funnel, a summit funnel, all these different funnels templates that you can use. But for our demonstration, we are just going to do a simple squeeze page funnel. So let me find it. Here we go. And then if you want, you can watch a quick video from Russell that talks about the different, what this funnel actually does. You can see that it generates leads for you and that it's a two-page journey. And I'll show you what that means in a second. Now, if you scroll down, you can see the different free templates that you have access to. And then they also have paid for templates that you can use. And these are templates that have proven to be successful for the person that created it. So, but for this, we're just going to use this simple free template here. So we would click on it, and then we would just get funnel, and then that will add it to our ClickFunnels library. All right, now that we have the funnel imported into our account, we are in the main edit page. So let's start with the steps. This is the journey that your customer is going to go on. Now, each step in the journey is a different page. So the first page is the squeeze page. This is where someone's going to give you their email address in exchange for something. It could be a PDF, it could be a video, it could be whatever you want. The next step is the thank you page. Now, after they give you the email address, they'll come to this thank you page, And this is where you can sell something if you want. You can tell them what the next step is. You can direct them to like your YouTube channel or your Facebook group. You can do whatever you want on your thank you page. Now, if you want, you can continue to add more and more steps to your funnel. And I've seen funnels up to 10 pages long, and to me that's a little too long, but I will show you a little bit later how we can add another step to actually collect payment information. Now, the second thing that we're going to take a look at is the stats. Now, stats are, let's say it measures, you say you have like 500 people come to your funnel. You want to see how many people actually opted in, how many people bought something, how many people clicked off. That's where you get your stats. Contacts, once someone gives you their email address, they'll show up in your contacts, and then there's different ways that you can import them into your autoresponder if you want. And then settings, we'll go to settings. There's a couple things you can do here. And for instance, one that we'll do right now is the domain. So if you look up here, it defaults to something that looks odd. It's my username and then some odd URL. I want to change that to my custom domain. And I will leave a link up above for a video that shows you how to add custom domains to your ClickFunnels account. Now, there's other things you can do in here. If you have like a Google tracking code or any Facebook tracking codes, you can add them here as well. So I just want to save this since we changed the domain. So let's take a look at a really cool feature of ClickFunnels, and that is A/B split testing. So we're on our opt-in page, and let's say we wanted to test different headlines. Well, the first opt-in page we have, are you ready for success? But let's say you think you can create a better headline and you want to test it. What you can do is you can create a variation of this page here, and let's do that here. And what you can do on the second one is change the headline. And then what you would do is you would run, let's say, traffic to 50% go to this one and 50% go to this. So when someone clicks on the domain, clicks on the URL, ClickFunnels will send 50% of the people to this one and then 50% of the people to this one. And then once you start getting some traffic, you can go back up to stats and you can see, okay, which squeeze page is getting the best conversion. So I have my control here, which is the first one in my variation, and you can look, okay, well, I can see that my second headline is converting 10% better. So then you would go back to your A/B split test, and you would, let's say this one was converting better, you would say this one's declare this one as a winner. And then what you can do is you can create another variation and change the headline and then run it against the winner. So that is a really cool feature of ClickFunnels, is that you can test your headlines, you can really nail down your copywriting and find out which pages are converting the best for you. And that is A/B split testing. All right, now let's discuss probably the most confusing thing about ClickFunnels, and that is the URL and the domain. Now, you have a URL for your entire funnel, and that is if I go to settings, and I already chose the domain, so that's goitmakesense.com, and that'll show up here. So that would say goitmakesense.com / and then the path, let's call this test squeeze page. So the domain or the URL for the first step in the funnel would be goitmakesenseblog.com / test squeeze. And that would take us to the first page, the first step in our funnel. And you can also access that right here. So if I tested it out, I pasted it, should take us to that first page, and it does. Okay, so there's another URL, and that is this one here, and this is the URL for this step. So this is our squeeze page. So if someone goes to this URL, they'll go to 50% will go to this page, and 50% will go to this page. So we can test this out. Let's just copy this, paste it, and it took us to that opt-in page. All right, now again, this looks ugly, so to change this one, we would click on this little icon here, and we can change the path here. So let's call this, I don't know, page 1. And then if we update it, And now you can see it's got our custom domain plus page 1. So this URL looks better for this specific step in the process. All right, not to confuse you even more, but there are, remember this, if you go to this URL, you're either going to go 50% here, 50% here, if we change this back. But if I want to set custom URLs for these, I would have to go to here. So let's call this one test, or we'll call it, I don't know, control 1. And then if we wanted this, we can call this control 2. So those are the ways that you could set the URLs, specific URLs for each of these A/B split test pages. Okay, real quick summary, because I know this is confusing. This right here is the URL for the entire funnel. This right here is the URL for this specific page. If I go here, I can set the URL for this specific page within the A/B split testing. So those are the 3 different URLs that you can set for ClickFunnels. And I know it's a little confusing, so hopefully that summary helped. All right, now I promise that's the most confusing part of ClickFunnels, and that is the URLs. But once you have that down, the rest is simple. So let's get into the actual editor of how you can edit these pages. But before we do that, let's talk about the different pages. So there's different things, different pages that do different functions. For instance, an opt-in page is just that. That is where this page is going to collect email addresses. Now there's a thank you page, which is just that. It's just a thank you page that's going to have a bunch of text. There's something else called a sales page, and I'll show you that in a second, where you can collect credit card information. So each page within ClickFunnels has a specific function, and you can only do certain things depending on the page, and I'll show you that coming up. All right, so let's jump into the page editor. To get there, you hit edit page. Now this is where ClickFunnels really shines and make it so simple to edit pages. The first thing you need to know is that it's divided into sections, rows, columns, and elements, and I'll show you what that is. The first is sections, and that is the green area. The green area is a section. It's just sections of the page, and within each section there are the blue area, which are the rows. So you can see I have a section here, and within that section here, within that section I have a row. Now rows are divided into columns. Now this is just a 1 column row, but if I wanted to, I can add, let's add another, come on, sometimes it's temperamental. Add another row, and I can add up to 6 columns. So let's just show you what that looks like. So here I have a row, and it's divided into 6 columns. Now within each column, I can add its element, and elements are anything like text, it's headlines, it's pictures, it's videos, there's so many different elements, and I'll show you what those are in a second. All right, so each element, each section, each row, each element has its own settings. So for instance, if I want to change the settings of this actual section, I would click on this gear icon, and it'll bring up the settings for this section. So for instance, if I want to change this to, let's say, a red background, I can do that here. There's other things I can set the padding, see here, I can increase it, decrease it, the bottom padding, the left and right padding. There's different things you can do in the settings here, and there's also advanced settings here. You can square, you can make the corner radiuses more rounded, you can do full border, you can do many different things here within the settings. Now let's say here within this row I want to change the settings for that. It has its own settings. So for instance, if I don't have a background color, but if I wanted to, I can make the background whatever color I wanted. Let's get out of there. And I can change the settings for an element too. I can come up to the little ear icon, and it has its own. So for instance, the text color is white right now. I want it to be, let's say, red. That'll change it. And it has, let's go back to it. The bold color, for if it's in bold, it's orange. Let's say I want that to be blue. I can change that here. So each different section, row, and element has its own settings, and you access that by the settings icon. All right, so let me show you how, or the different elements that you can add to ClickFunnels. So let's just add a new section and let's add one full width. And then we're gonna add a new row, we'll just add one row. And now within that row, we can add a new element. So if I add an element, you can see all the different elements that we can add. We can add headlines, we can add paragraphs, bullet lists, images, videos, buttons. We can put in input boxes. We can do countdown timers. We can add icons. We can add links. We can add progress bars, different social sharing icons. So there's a different, so many different elements that you can add. Now, because we are in an opt-in page, we can't add in credit card information, but I'll show you that when we create a sales page. So let's just add a headline here, and then you can see it just adds it to, if we start typing, this is a headline, and now we've just added an element. Let's make it white, and there we go. Now those are the settings for the different parts of the page, but there's also settings for the page overall. So that's up here. So the first one is integrations. Now integrations, because this is an opt-in page, this is where you would set the integration if you have, let's say, like an email autoresponder. So right now I don't have any set, but I can set it here. I can go to set integration. I have my active campaign account. I can set it to add it to a list, and then I can say I wanted to add it to this specific list. So now I'm integrated with my active campaign, and that's where you would do it here in integrations. The other thing here is SEO metadata. This is what, when you go to Google and you type in this page, this is what will show up. You can see right here, this is what it would look like. So I can change that here, test. I can put a description. This is the description you would see when someone were to Google this page. And then these are just the different keywords I'm ranking for. I really don't use this section for the keywords because it's hard to rank ClickFunnels pages, but this is where you would do it. The other settings, this is where you could add tracking codes. If you were a coder and you did know CSS, this is where you would do that. Background, this is the background for the full page. Right now you can see there is an image that is the background for the full page, and that's where you would set it here. You can set the whole page background color. And then another thing you can do here is you can set the font for the whole page. And then in general, this is where you could do this affiliate badge. If you go to a ClickFunnels site, you sometimes see that little ClickFunnels sign. Now, if someone were to click on it and you were an affiliate, that's where you would, and if someone were to join, that's where you could earn a commission. But you can turn that off and on here. So if I wanted to hide it, I could hide it here. And that's where you could do that in this setting here. Now, another thing that you can do up here is pop-ups, and if I show the pop-ups, this one doesn't have any, but a pop-up is, let's say someone goes and tries to leave the page, it'll pop up this little mini page, and that's where you would do it. Here is where you would have the pop-up, and you can create one here. Now before you leave your page, you should make it a habit, or not before you leave, but every time you make changes, every so often, I would recommend saving, and you would just hit the save button right up there. And that is the page editor in a nutshell. All right, the last thing I want to show you before we leave this page are the different views. So right now we are in desktop view, and this is what the page would look like if you were to view it on a computer. But you can also go to mobile, and you can see how this would look on mobile. And one of the great things about ClickFunnels is the way they set up their sections. It makes it look really nice on mobile. But there's, let's say I wanted to add, I want to show you this. I want to add, let's add another section, and I'm going to add just a real quick row, and then I'm going to add a new element. Let's just add an image. Click on this, and I want this image here. Now, okay, so this is how it's going to look on desktop, and this is how it will look on mobile. But let's say I don't like the way this looks on mobile. Well, then I can come over here, I can click on this section, and then I can set it to be on desktop only. So if I go to the mobile view, that image is gone, that whole section is gone. But if I go back to desktop view, it's still there. So that's a cool feature of ClickFunnels, is the different ways you can view it and set different elements for mobile versus desktop. All right, so now I want to show you some other things that you need to know with ClickFunnels. So let me exit out of here. And then let's go to the system-wide settings, which are the ClickFunnels-wide settings. So if I go up to my name here and I go to account settings, I'll show you there's a sidebar where you can do your account billing, some notifications, templates that you have. But right here is where you would go and set your integrations. So here's where I have my active campaign, my get response. There's other integrations you can do. For instance, if we want to integrate it with Facebook, if you have a drip account, go to webinar. If you have Aweber, these are the different areas, all the different programs you can integrate with ClickFunnels. Payment gateways is, for instance, if you have a Stripe account or if you have PayPal and you want to take payments right on ClickFunnels, if you're selling a product, this is where you could set that. And then domains is where you would set your custom domains. And you get one free domain with ClickFunnels, but if you leave ClickFunnels, you don't get to take that domain with you. So I use like Bluehost to set up my domain, and this is where you would go and integrate your new domains with that. So that is the system-wide settings. There's also in ClickFunnels something called follow-up funnels. That's so ClickFunnels comes with two different plans. One is $97 a month, which gets you access to about 20 funnels and then some other things. But you pay $297, you get access to what used to be called Actionetics, which was ClickFunnels email autoresponder, but now it's called follow-up funnels. And you also get access to Backpack. For new people, I recommend the $97 plan because follow-up funnels is really no longer supported. They got rid of it recently. And then Backpack, you're probably not promoting any, or you probably don't have your own affiliate products, and that's where you would do that. One of the other things that I want to show you, which is a cool feature of, let's go back to the home page, ClickFunnels, is this new program that they added with when they did the changeover to ClickFunnels Platinum, was this FunnelFlix. And these are different courses that you can take within ClickFunnels. And if you pay the $97, you get access to certain FunnelFlix, which is training videos. So for instance, if I click on this, it takes you to FunnelFlix. So let's log in with ClickFunnels. And as you can see here, if you're ClickFunnels, you get access to all the ones that say, right here. But if you pay your ClickFunnels Platinum, then you get access to even more. So you get access to the 10x secrets or the copywriting. Well, actually, no, you don't. That's if you join the ClickFunnels Collective. If you join ClickFunnels Collective, you get access to these ones that are marked in red here. I think there's one more. I can't find it. But anyway, that is FunnelFlix, and that is another great feature of ClickFunnels, because most of these courses used to cost, some courses cost up to $1,000, and now they are offered as free training if you are either a ClickFunnels member or a ClickFunnels Platinum member, or if you're their premium member, which is a ClickFunnels Collective. So that is FunnelFlix, and that's another great feature of ClickFunnels. So that is my ClickFunnels walkthrough. Now, before we leave, who can use ClickFunnels? Well, really any business that wants to grow. So I've seen doctors, dentists, other brick and mortar stores, chiropractors, e-commerce stores, anyone that has a digital product, anyone that has a digital course, affiliate marketers, anyone that has a business can benefit from ClickFunnels. Now, if you want to try ClickFunnels, I'll leave a link down below, and you can go there and you can take a 14-day free trial of ClickFunnels. Now, if you like this video, please hit that thumbs up so I know to create more videos like this. And if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing, as I'm creating content all the time on affiliate marketing, how to build an online business, passive income. And leave a comment down below and let me know if you use ClickFunnels and what you think of it. So with that, I will see you guys in the next video. All right, before we begin, let's talk about why you need tutorial. All right. All right, let's start again. It's free where you can see if it will work for you. And no, I don't want to say that.